Hi everyone, I am Siva Prasad, working as an associate professor in CSC department, Guntur Engineering College. In this class, we are going to discuss about architecture evaluation method ATAM. ATAM in software architecture and design pattern subject. Architecture trade-off analysis method. Atom stands for architecture trade-off analysis method. Already you are familiar with the words architecture analysis. Then what do you mean by trade-off? Trade-off, generally we are using the word trade-off in our day-to-day life. Trade-off means a situation where if you want to acquire one property, you need to compromise with another property. If you want to increase one property, you need to decrease another property. For example, if any system want to increase its user interface, automatically they need to compromise with security. For example, if any organization want to give easy to access to the users, okay, that is very good, user friendly, but at the same time they are compromising with the security. So there is a trade-off, which feature they want to have, what level they want to have. When you want to choose one feature with high level, automatically you are going to lose another feature. So you call it as trade-off. So the main objective of architecture trade-off analysis method is what are the possible benefits we are getting. With these benefits, what are the things we are losing. So the main objective of Atom is to balancing between these losses and gains, what we are losing and what we are gaining, so that what maximum profit we can achieve. So it's like a business trading. So you call it as architecture trade-off analysis method, Atom. Atom, the architecture trade-off analysis method has been used from almost more than 10 years. So Atom designed to focus business goals for the system. It also designed to use those goals and stakeholders, participants to focus the attention of the evaluators on the portion of the architecture. This is the central achievement of the goals. The main participants in the Atom. The Atom requires support and full cooperation from three groups of the people. So what are these three groups of the people? One is evaluation team, and another one is project decision makers, and third one is architecture stakeholders. You consider evaluation team. The evaluation team consists of 3 to 5 members. The evaluation team consists of 3 to 5 members. These members may be chosen from within the organization as well as outside of the organization. So generally, to get the more accuracy, more unbiased analysis, generally the people are choosing from outside of the organizations. So but they may be from within the organization also. So there is no hard bound rule that people must be coming only from outside of the organization, but generally we give the evaluation to the externals. So nowadays so many projects, government projects are also giving third party analysis so that they can have unbiased competent analysis. If you are asking any supervisor or any person from within the organization, they may be having supporting or opposing the persons. So the internal people analysis may be not compulsory, may be biased, may be positive or may be negative. So that's why they prefer external experts, but not mandatory. Next one is project decision makers. That person or persons or the organization which is giving funds to your project. So for whom you are developing the project, or for the persons who are giving the money or funding your project, are called as decision makers. So we need to develop the project as per their wish, as per their requirement. Or sometimes even project manager is also called as project decision maker. Generally, the person who is funding the project or any person on behalf of the funding company can be considered as a decision maker. It's like a producer in movies. So automatically director is taking the movie and everything is looked after by the director, but final decision, because he is the financer, he's giving the funding to the project. So you should trust, we should follow the financer terminology, financer requirements, financer conditions. So generally the project manager or the person who is funding the project are considered as the project decision makers. We need to consider their ideas and accordingly we need to implement them in the project. Third one, architecture stakeholders. Architecture stakeholders. Stakeholders in the sense, the persons who are actively involving in the project are known as stakeholders. So generally the persons who are having much more interest in the architecture part will be involved in this. So that may be the developers, testers, or some designers, maintainers, or end users, so network admins, whatever it may be. These persons are called as stakeholders. So those who are interested in the architecture and they want to performing as per the advertised, means as per the promised, or will be involving in the project analysis, sorry, architecture analysis team. So the participants are evaluation team, project decision makers, and architecture stakeholders. So to get the success of this Atam analysis, we need to have proper coordination and support, control support from these three groups. So what will be the output, or what are the outcomes of this ATM? So there are different outcomes are there. The main purpose of ATM is to find the suitability of the architecture, how the architecture is suitable to this organization, or else do we need to make any changes in the architecture. That is the main purpose. Now you consider, so we need to have a concise presentation from the architecture analysis team. The architecture documentation consists of the objective models, or it may consist of list of interfaces, signature, gestures, so many voluminous information. But the architect, the analyst, is not having that world of time to give the entire presentation. So the architect must present the information in short span of time, probably 1 hour like that. And at the within that 1 hour, he should convey the information to the audience. So the presentation must be concise, usually understandable format, brief information without any ambiguity. So the analyst must be a good orator, and he should have thorough knowledge in the technology. That's why in our engineering college also we conduct a number of seminars and debates to improve your communication skills, to improve your presentation skills. Don't think that, sir, I am a software engineer. Why should I speak with others? We are getting the information or giving the information with others in the software. Without communication, we cannot survive in the software industry. My dear students, at least from this point of onwards, try to speak something in the classrooms. Try to improve your communication skills. Okay, next one is articulation of the business goals. Whatever the information they are having in the business goals, that should be presented in the Atam architecture model, architecture trade-off analysis model. They need to give their information, goals information in the clear-cut format. but whatever the goals or terminology they are giving by the business persons, that may not be clearly understandable in the technical department. For example, a technical team, you are the member of a technical team, development team. So your project, your team is going to develop a software for a banking organization, well, popular banking organization, you say SBI. You are the member of development team in SBI banking system. Okay, so for example, sundry debtors, sundry creditors, so some quotes. These words you might not have listened in your career, but you need to work with those words. You need to work, you need to write programs for those terminology. So first you need to understand them, so that at the time of architecture analysis phase, first the business terminology will be introduced to the technical persons. Because being an engineering graduate or being a computer professional, you may not know the terminology of other department like scientific development or commerce people. But you are, as a computer people, you are not working for yourself, you are working for others. So computer people are developing software for all the domains, not only financial, not only automobile, not only commercial manner, tax departments. So industrial people, whoever want to have software, computer people are developing. So only thing, these computer people are not able to learn terminology of all the departments, all the domains in the world. So at the time of architecture evaluation, they should introduce the terminology to the development team in a clear, simple, understandable format. Next one, quality requirements. What are the quality features they are expecting from this development team? So that is very, very important. So generally, marketing people promise so many things to the customers, but that may not be communicated to the developers. Developer may be doing in some other direction. So there should be clear commitment to the department, development department. So quality requirement should be given in a clear manner. There should be no hidden conditions. Okay. Next one, mapping of architectural decisions to quality requirements. So if you want to have high quality, high level quality characteristics, automatically your architecture should also be strong. So whatever the quality requirements that organization is giving or the consumer is giving, accordingly you need to change in your architecture. So if your architecture is not able to cope up with that requirements, so one thing you ask them to change their requirements, or other thing you change your architecture. For example, you consider a security system for a bank. So security system a bank in the software field, security system in the bank in the sense your computer system or your software is designed to protect the attacks from the networking or hacking or virus, etc. But it is not able to provide security for the physical theft. If physical theft occurs, your firewalls or your algorithms, antivirus doesn't do anything. So you should match your quality requirements with the architectural decisions. So next one, a set of identified sensitive and trade-off points. Already I have given what is trade-off. So there is a trade-off between the sensitive points and critical points. Already we have discussed one example, performances versus security. So for example, consider people want to have proper reliability. To give the reliability, we offer backup, do redundancy of the services. For example, to give the more reliability of the database, we adopt the backup of database. So automatically backup of the database will increase the reliability positively to the consumer. That means if one database server fails, automatically we can migrate to another database. Okay, customer requirement is satisfied. That is a quality. Okay, availability, reliability comes under quality. but at the same time it is compromising with another sensitive point, that is with respect to consumption, power consumption. For example, when you are considering the performance, when you are running two servers, I'm saying only two, sometimes you may be running multiple servers. If you are running two servers instead of one server for the sake of reliability, what is the impact on performance? What will be the impact on cost? Is the cost increasing or decreasing? Yes, definitely cost is increasing. So there is a trade-off. So what extra cost we are paying to increase the reliability. So like that they need to choose whether we need to get the reliability or whether we go for a cost factor. If you want to reduce the cost, okay, cost criteria if you are satisfying, but you may not be able to satisfy the reliability criteria. So if you want to gain one attribute, you are compromising with another attribute. That is called as a trade-off. So there is the set of identified sensitive and trade-off points. So which is critical, which is non-critical, like that they analyze. So they choose which property they want to acquire more and which property they want to compromise. That changes from one organization to another organization. So there is no exact rules for that. A set of risks and non-risks. What do you mean by risk? The probability of happening something adversely is called as risk. It is not guaranteed happening, but there is a possibility of happening is called as risk. For example, if you are going on a bike with 120 kilometers per hour triple riding 120 kilometers per hour on a normal road, not even highway road, normal street roads, city roads. Is it risk or safe? Yes, definitely it is risk. But still you are making so many risky feats on the roads like a circus person. But risk means it is not happening, but there is a possibility, high possibility of happening risk. So are you clear about risk? Risk means the probability of happening something adversely, unwantedly. You call it as risk. Okay. In the software industry, so they need to identify what are the possible risks. Risk is not guarantee of loss, possibility of loss. So in the Atam, they identify the possibility of risks. Okay, next, after identifying the possibility of risk, they need to conceal the risk. That means they need to conceal those loopholes. Otherwise, it will be a threat for the organization. Sometimes the entire organization may be shutting down or the entire project is going to be failed. Okay, so you need to identify non-risks also. Non-risk is an architectural decision that upon analysis is deemed to be safe. So which is not risk. So you call it as safe. The identified risks can form a basis for an architectural risk mitigation plan. That means risk elimination plan. So at last, the set of risk themes have been developed. Whatever the risks they have identified, they need to be close those risks, or they need to make the necessary counter measures. So if those risks left unresolved, so they will become threats for that software. Next, what are the phases of the atom? Phases of the atom. There are 4 phases in the atom. First, zeroth phase, first phase, second phase, and third phase. So in this atom, you see this, what are the activity they are performing, whom they are performing, how much time they are consuming. First, zero phase, partnership and preparation activity phase. So in this, evaluation, team leadership and key project decision makers. Do you remember key project decision makers? The persons who are funding the project, or project manager, or person on behalf of the funding person comes under participants, because they are the decision maker. The decision will be the final decision. Next, how much time they are spending. Proceeds informally and requires perhaps a few weeks. Few weeks they are spending with this Atom team to analyze the architecture, to architecture analysis. Next one is evaluation team. This is a technical team. That evaluation team project is and decision makers working together. Generally 1 to 2 days will be followed by herds of 2 to 3 weeks. So generally here the main focus is on the technical activity. Next, the second phase. 0th phase completed, first phase completed, second phase. Evaluation phase is continuing. That evaluation team, project decision makers and stakeholders all join together. So they exchange their opinions. There may be some negotiations or there may be some debates on the issues. At final, they will make some conclusion. So that conclusion will be next last phase follow-up. The evaluation team and evaluation clients will make a conclusion, and it will be around 1 week duration. That's all about Atom.